Good morning, hello. Welcome to Going to Ground. My name's Andrew Rumsey and I'm here by the River Kennet for number 60, friends, of these short films. 60 days of lockdown, can you believe it? And it struck me that it might be of interest to you, for me over these next days, to say a little bit about some of the bases, the reasons for my own personal faith. I'm a little bit hesitant about doing that, partly because my story won't be yours and mine is no kind of model, but it might just be of interest, partly because I'm conscious that for many of us, personal belief seems much harder to achieve than it appeared to be for our parents and grandparents. Many of our forebears appeared to put on Christian faith like a familiar set of clothes that were handed down and they put on and wore. Went to church, they assumed the beliefs, the practices, the morals. It was normal, utterly normal for them to do so. Why was it so apparently comfortable and appropriate, and yet feels so ill-fitting to many of us today? And I was aware, growing up in the 1980s, I'm 52 now, how odd, how jarring my own personal faith was when I decided to put that on for myself. I was aware that it was an anomaly culturally, and keenly aware of that, of course, in all kinds of ways. And so I'm interested in that. So the first of the things I noted down yesterday evening was I trust in the tradition. I trust in the tradition. I trust in where it's going. I trust the route it's on. I trust actually in its essential goodness, despite the evil things that have been done with it. I trust its resilience. I trust the resilience of the Christian tradition through times of plague and plenty, of peace and warfare, across the eras. I trust in its ability to keep going and carrying people. And I trust that far more than my own ability to construct my own faith, which is very much the normal spirituality of our time, to find a way of belief that fits our life, whether or not it fitted our parents or whether or not it is passed down to our children. We've lost that sense of it being passed on, that being a good way to do it. And I'm no good with flat packs. And I don't trust my ability to construct any kind of serviceable faith on my own. I need tradition. I'm inherently traditional in that I'm interested in, I trust my ancestors. So that's the first of the reasons. There's a French sociologist, Danielle Hervieux-Leger, who wrote a book called Religion is a Chain of Memory. And she was considering why in France in the 20th century that normal kind of carriage of faith that was passed down proved in the second half of the century to be so unusual, so hard to own and achieve. And I love that chain of memory. I hold to it, and I decided to see that as a gift to me. Now, rather like getting on that gospel train bound for glory, when you get on a train, you may not find everybody in the carriage amenable. There may be aspects of the train you're on really unpleasant and difficult, and you might think of getting off at all sorts of stops along the way, but it is carrying you there. And I trust the route, and so I'm on the train. That'll do for now. It would be very easy to go on about that sort of thing, and I don't want to. If you're ever interested in these things, you can write to me and discuss them. So I trust the tradition. That's all I wanted to say today. And I'm going to read a couple of verses from the Psalm to close with. Psalm 95 this morning, what's called the Venite. O come, let us sing unto the Lord. Let us heartily rejoice in the strength of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving and show ourselves glad in him with psalms. For the Lord is a great God and a great King above all gods. In his hand are all the corners of the earth, and the strength of the hills is his also. May the hills of your life be strong in God today. May he bless you as you go to ground.